Hello, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Vancouver by Night, New Blood. As a warning, this is a mature game and it explores some dark and troubling themes. These may include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, drug use, and many others. Our players have discussed consent and boundaries, and we collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. I've put the yellow and red cards in our private chat, and they will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using the chat itself to let me know. And if you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. The streams are always going to be available on YouTube after the game, so you can always come back to an episode if you feel ready. So, let's introduce our vampires. Starting off in the regular pole position, up there in the corner, it is Michaela.
Hi, my name is Michaela, otherwise known as Cosmic Dazai. Today, I will be playing your meek, demure, kind, humble, full of humility, Sumitsi. No, I will not be taking any questions.
Well, I don't have any questions. I have statements to the contrary, but questions,
Lies,
yeah,
lies,
no
all lies,
questions.
all
Who
lies.
needs
Thank you.
questions when you have a receipt?
And that's up Monica.
I had muted myself. Hi, everybody. Monica here, playing Sophia, the Toreador, who is about to be in very, very bad danger.
Insert the Ralph Wiggum, I'm in danger. Yeah, gif. Next up is Joanna.
Hi, my name is Joanna, and I'm going to be playing Antonia for you today, who is your friendly neighborhood venture owner of a club and apparently owner of some, big building and business or some shit like that.
Also soon to be in danger, Chris.
No. Me? No. No danger. He is never in danger, first of all. But I am Chris, aka the Imposter. I am playing the lovely Key, aka Violetta's bestie, whether she likes it or not. So
And last, but certainly not least, Elaine.
Hello, my name is Alan, and I am coming to you live from my vacation here to play the old man, your friendly neighborhood Nosferatu fixer, cleaner, get shit done kind of guy. And when I'm not doing that, I am trying to figure out what's happening in the sewers.
That's a story for another day. No, I'm kidding. We can explore that really if you wanted to. Go to our YouTube and you can sort of see some of the things that are happening in the sewers with our old episodes. Speaking of our old episodes, when last we saw the vampires that you see on screen, there were some interesting things going on. There were some conversations and some, let's just say, splitting of the party in a D&D-esque way of putting things, but in the vampire way of putting things, this is what's called a coterie. So it's the coterie is kind of split up. Violetta and Sophia are going to be going to the old stomping grounds of when Violetta was in that other sect that we're not allowed to talk about in B5, even though they made a book about it. And that would be in Toronto. So they are on their way there. And Antonia, the old man, and Key are still back at the Dark Star. So we're going to start off this particular episode with Violetta and Sophia in the plane. It was easy enough to get a hold of a plane, charter one for Toronto. There's stuff going in and out of YVR, and I can't remember the number for, or the three-letter thing for Toronto. And
Why
somebody
is that?
YYZ, of course, yeah. I knew it was a Y something. So yeah, it's easy enough to charter. What are the collective resources for both of you?
Let me check my character sheet. That
What?
would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Can we load? Can we load?
And checking it out the character sheet on Demiplane.
Oh no. Please no engine updates, please.
Let's just say you guys had enough easily. Would you be going for any extras in this particular flight? Any, you know, the let's just call it the kindred specials of the, you know what? If somebody happens to get fed on during the flight, that's fine too. Type of situation.
In theory. Yes.
I probably
Murder's
snuck
not
up.
more murder if they're poor.
I probably snuck
Oh,
a bottle of the specialty you know drinks that we had
The
at the
some
at
of
the
the
Dark
new
Star.
some of the new house specials from the Dark
Yes,
Star. Which
exactly.
one would you have grabbed? And you can feel free as a player to describe, like, paint a picture for me on that one. Like, what would Sophia want out of a drink? And then they would probably have had that available.
Some sort of like lavender infused a drink that would be very like calming and soothing.
Yeah, they have something along those lines. So
Either
yeah.
that or something mango flavored because mango is always top tier.
They did have one, if memory serves me, they did have one that had a mango twist in it.
Let's go with the lavender since I know she was expecting something very stressful to be coming up soon.
You are not incorrect. So what was your hunger at? I believe it was
Mine
one,
that too.
two. Yeah, that would be able to bring it down to one for that. So, what are the
I
two of you discussing? Go ahead.
oh nothing, sorry.
What would the two of you be discussing on this particular flight?
Guess what to expect. Just expectation building so you know, we can be prepared for the unknown.
Proceed.
Hmm. I really probably should have gotten that knife enchanted from those lovely witchery kindred that we met before
You
coming
mean the
here.
Tremure?
Yes, those.
I won't have done much good. I hope you realize that.
Yeah, but it would make me feel safer.
Sophia, what does the illusion of safety get you if it's not real?
Uh, just the ability to let my mind just not be so afraid all the time.
Viola is going to like put a hand on her shoulder and just like pat her a bit because that is as close as affection as Violetta gets.
I appreciate it.
I understand that you are afraid. I know that Sabat kind of makes people a little bit antsy, but it's not as bad as it seems. Most of them are dead.
Oh, dead like dead or like dead like you and I dead.
Well, we better hope that they're dead, like dead, or else, we're gonna have to kill a few people, but that's
Right.
normal.
I'm okay. I don't know how much help I'm going to be with killing.
I mean, in theory, we're not going here to kill people. We're here for information, but
Right.
necessary precautions and all of that.
Sure. Absolutely.
You sound a bit unsure.
Have I ever sounded sure to you at this point?
You sound sure about other topics, not necessarily this one.
Well, we all do have our specialties, I suppose.
Well, why are you afraid? It's just us. It's not like I can tell anyone.
That's true, though I am a little bit afraid of you. Just a little
Why is
bit.
that?
Well, I've never seen someone, you know, di- diablerize someone.
I mean, you
Uh,
didn't see me do it, but
but it was, the aftermath was enough.
I mean, my actions are my own if it is something that is really that bothering to you. I should just let you know that my humanities is just about as intact as it was previously. I'm just more ahead of the curve.
Sure, but it just, let's just say, I don't think anybody should mess with you ever for any reason.
Thank you for such a nice compliment. However, this is supposed to be a learning experience.
Right.
So I'm just going to tell you, if my former pack is life, they are not happy with me, in part because I probably sold a few of them out. And by probably, I mean I did. I
Mhm.
definitely did. And now they are like on a red list, and you know, it's pretty much on site. So just want to give you warning.
Sure. So walk a few steps behind you. Got it.
I mean, sure, but also I wouldn't actively show that you're afraid. That also might, lead to them targeting you first.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Have you really never encountered Sabat? I mean, not to be rude, but you are older than me. You had to have encountered them. You were in
Well,
New York.
yes. The thing is, there were a lot of drugs involved, and especially after what happened with my side of things, there wasn't a lot of being in reality in those times. So I don't quite remember a lot of those times. Uh, as I
You were
was
also in LA,
in a
correct?
stupor for most of all of that, yes. Which is probably what made my mind so easily accessible to what ended up happening.
How about we try and establish some things? What do you think the Sabat is, since you clearly haven't ran into any of them?
Storyteller.
That's me.
Hi.
Hello.
How much would Sophia know about the Sabbath?
Let me do a quick glance at your character
Because
sheet.
I, as player Monica, know very little about the Sabbat.
You have a 1 in occult. So let's do a intelligence and occult check just to see, because there's been a lot of talk about the Sabbat over the last little while. So there'll be probably a little jogging of the memory.
That's going to be 3 dice total
Yep.
for a Oh, I critted for
Ooh,
a success of 5.
there's a fair bit you remember now that you think about it.
Oh shit!
There's you were
I
on a
have
lot
a
of
Raven moment.
yeah. You were on a lot of drugs at the time.
Yes, I
And
was.
yeah. So there's kind of snippets here and there that Sophia would remember about the Sabbat. They were basically throughout about the last 400 or 500 years, they've been the main sect that has been fighting with the Camarilla. There's been various points where the Sabbat would take territory and then the Camarilla would take territory and it would bounce around. Mexico was a Sabbat stronghold for the most part throughout the entire course of that particular run.
Yes.
New York, where you were situated, your sire told you don't go outside of this particular, and Storyteller Steve at this particular point in time cannot remember the exact boundaries, but I believe it was Manhattan that was a Camarilla stronghold, so you weren't allowed to go outside of those bounds because the Sabbat controlled everything else in New York. Um, it was with 5 successes. That is a lot. Okay, this is gonna take a bit time for a lore dump. The La
Sorry.
Sombra.
Yay.
If I may, I believe from what I know of New York, Staten Island always belonged to the Wu-Tang. So I don't know where
Yeah.
the bot falls there, but I mean, like, I don't care who the Sabat think they are, son. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. So I'm just saying, all
Um,
right. I'm
the,
just putting it down, son. Putting it
while
down.
while I do totally agree, this is a game of Vampire the Masquerade, and the Wu Tang Clan is a separate clan from like the La Sombra and the Zamisi. I think.
Dang, this
I don't
is
know.
not very yes and.
You know what? I just hey Steve, I just figured out what I want to run on your channel.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
The
epic.
Vampire the Masquerade game with the Wu Tang Clan as one of the official clans. Yeah. So the La Sombra and the Zamisi were this is going to require more exposition. Back in the day, back about 500 years ago, at the Convention of Thorns, which is a LARP that you can go to in Poland occasionally, which is back on this year.
Cool.
They had a situation in which they got all the clans together, representatives of all the clans, and they basically set up the main Camarilla, and the La Sombra and the Zamisi very much so did not want to join this new Camarilla thing, to the point that a prominent Zamisi, Sasha Vikos, and this is a trigger warning for gore for anybody. At one point, Sasha Vikos got so upset with the Ventru that they pulled off their own genitals and tossed them on the table as a means of saying fuck you. So, having said that, the Sabbat have been basically problematic people ever since, and killing and maiming. The essential split between the two is that the Camarilla want to stay hidden, stay safe, don't want the Inquisition to come up and kill all us all, because that's just, don't do vampire things in public, is basically their thing. And the Sabbat were like, we're better than humans. We want to control them. We want to rule over the people that are under our thumb. And that's basically been a big hair pulling contest for the last 500 years. So it's a minor kind of problem between the two sects. And yeah, basically Sophia, you remember that your sire would be mentioning stuff like where to and to not go, which is probably why you ended up going to Los Angeles, because Montreal, Toronto, Sabat strongholds. Mexico City was a huge Sabat stronghold. In fact, it had the Sabat leadership in it for quite some time. Spain to be avoided because that was a La Sombra stronghold for the most part. And anything that was essentially trying to brain here, I believe west of Poland, anything Carpathian Mountainish is Zimissi stronghold territory. And there's my exposition for the day. Proceed with the conversation.
So as Sophia is kind of lore dumping everything that she currently knows of the Sabbat, she goes, and so, there was this one time that we kind of went down to Tijuana while I was in LA, and let's just say it wasn't the most pleasant adventure. It was supposed to be, but things got really messy quite quickly.
Well, if I can give you any assurance I wasn't anywhere down near that part of the world, would
Oh,
that make you feel better?
no, no.
I mean, I
But
was I was in Canada and, going back and forth between Florida, which is another story, but
oh, Florida's always a story.
I mean, it wasn't too bad. You know, I'm going to try and find the best way to say this. I believed a lot more back then than I do now. I've actually moderated my beliefs a bit, if you can believe it. Um,
Really? Mm.
I have. It really was character growth for me. Um, but every time I would kill people down Florida, and it was a lot of people, but I could hear the property value go up every time I did. So, I kind of just saw it as welfare reform.
Wow. How very generous of you.
It was. The point is that I feel like you have a bit of a misconception. So, anything else you know about us, or just we're the scary boogeymen?
A scary boogeyman. That's pretty much all I know. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Um, kind of have the same hierarchies as the Camarilla. Nothing really changed there. There is still a strict, order in terms of, who you have to report to, stuff like that. There even is, we call it the Masquerade now, but there is a veil that we generally keep because we don't believe in, having, the government, basically try and kill us. But the difference is that I guess in mentality, I don't feel nearly as much shame as you do when talking to a human.
Right.
You still seem a bit unsure.
I, as afraid of as I am of everything, I do trust you with my life. My undead life, but my life nonetheless.
That's such a oddly pleasant thing to hear. Yeah. All I'm going to say is that when we get there, I don't know how much things have changed since, again, sold them out. And again, still are likely very mad at me. But there's this theory I just want you to keep in mind, right? Let's say we're both on a boat together and there are a bunch of people, and suddenly it goes tits up and, you know, we have to get moved off the ship. We have to go to the lifeboat, but suddenly it capsizes. When the lifeboat is full, people who hate life will try and load it with more people and sink everyone on it. People that actually like their life and respect it will take the ship's axe and cut off the extra hands that are clinging to the sides. That is the best way I can try and describe it to you. Point is, I don't think you should show any sympathy to them. They're not capable nor worthy of such. And they won't show the same to you, so why bother?
Well, if it does come down to a be killed situation, then I suppose I have no issue with that. And, I'll do my best to back you up no matter what happens.
I do want to say this genuinely. I will protect you because genuinely, nasty lot, bunch of cockroaches. But, you know, seeing as there's still Sabat even in Vancouver, hypothetically, if you deal with one of them and I'm not around, I would rather you look at them as gum underneath your shoe than someone you should spare sympathy towards.
Shall be noted.
Meanwhile, back in the ranch, back over at the Dark Star, Antonian,
Yes.
is there something that you should be doing?
Antonia is calling up Sandra, who is apparently the executive assistant or whatever that was in charge of doing that sort of thing for Alexandra Industries that our dear Ventru Primogen has advised me I should speak. So she's going to be um, giving a call to Sandra, and I don't know if Sandra has a last name. I'm just going to stick with Sandra for the time being.
Could be a Madonna type situation. Sandra.
All right. All right. So she gives a call to Sandra.
Hello?
Sandra, hi, Antonia here. I was told to contact you.
Yes. You have a meeting at 2.
At 2.
Yes.
Excellent. Storyteller, what time is it right now?
It's probably around when we had the last episode, you weren't opening the Dark Star yet, so it's probably getting around midnight-ish. The club has been open for a little bit, and with Goth Standard Time, everything's picking up right about now.
Excellent, Sandra. So 2ish, and who am I meeting at that point?
Pentex.
I'm meeting Pentex. Excellent. Yes. And Sandra, is it possible for me to have a meeting with you? Well, for myself and my associates, perhaps, to have a meeting with you before we go into this meeting with Pentex, just so that we can get a bit of a heads up on what's going on?
Sure.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sandra. Should I meet you just at reception?
No. Come up to the 6th floor.
Perfect. 6th floor. Excellent. And Antonia ends the call. And she turns around to Key and the old man. I'm not sure where Key and the old man are right now. I'm assuming on the same floor.
Oh yeah, I'm right next to you, like ear. Was listening in on the conversation.
I'm not that close, but I'm around.
Would the two of you be willing to take a bit of a trek over to Alexander Industries. I mean, we own it now, and you know, apparently they have us set up with for a meeting with Pentex.
What kind?
Just a business meeting, but first we're meeting with the executive assistant, who I don't know what her leanings are in terms of, kind of how loyal she was to the previous owner. But I figured since the two of you have been investigating all that, maybe it might be a good opportunity for the two of you to get some more dirt on what's been going on too.
Right.
I've
That
always
sound
wanted to meet the Pentatonic, so if we meet their executive assistant, I think it'd be very good.
okay? Okay. Um, Pentex is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They probably don't matter either. All right.
Damn.
Just so everybody knows, Storyteller Steve will not be singing as the Pentatonics.
That's not very yes and of you. Dang, second strike.
That's two. That's two. This.
You saw where I was going with this too.
No.
Steve?
Come on,
Nope.
Steve.
No.
All right.
Yeah, oh, come on.
You had your chance, Steve.
All right.
Yes, but.
Yeah. All right. So in that case, why don't we head over to the building and meet up with Sandra? She's the assistant, and maybe she can help us out. Sound like a plan?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Do I have to like change?
I don't think so.
Good.
I think that we will be just fine. Because if this assistant was dealing with Alexander Devonshire, whatever his name was, our arch nemesis, then she obviously knew that there was shit going on that was not human.
Uh-huh.
At least I'd like to assume that. And if not, wipe the memory, stuff. It's all good. All good. All right. Shall we then?
Let's go.
And I think it's basically 2 cross streets over or something like that, Steve?
Yeah. Yeah, you can
Something like
basically
that.
get there
Financial.
in a walk in about 10 minutes, give or take.
All right. Let's do it.
So you head on over to Alexander Industries. You go up to the 6th floor. This is a lot different from when you were here before. There seems to be like the people in place for the old man specifically, because the old man kind of pegged this right away. The like concierge that's in the front, they seem like the regular concierge that would have been there, like the because the concierge that was there when you were there before kind of looked like somebody just rearranged the pieces and put that person in place. This, an older gentleman, he seems like he's, a couple months to retirement type of thing, like just living out the night shift. He waves you through, and as soon as he sees Antonia, he's like, "Oh, Miss Pietroska?"
Pietrovska, yes.
Right. I was
Petrovska.
told to give you this, and he hands you a key card, like an RFD card.
And she looks at it. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. Just I don't know if Sandra's told you. That'll get you anywhere in the building, anywhere you need to go. That opens up the elevator. Basically, you can go wherever you need to go, whenever you need to go there. It's your building now, right? Yeah.
Sorry, your name again was?
Oh, I'm Sam.
Okay, Sam.
Sam, yeah. late night security guy. Yeah.
And Sam is behind the desk,
The
right?
the large kind of the way the desk is set up, it doesn't look like it's like something that was brought in. It looks like it was built marble matching all of the walls and everything.
Okay. And does Sam seem human?
His breath would seem to indicate that he's human. Like if you were breathing in when you were talking, you would definitely detect like kind of salami breath on him. Yeah.
Does he
All right.
does he have a tattoo on the back of his neck to indicate that he's a familiar, like in the Blade franchise?
He does not.
Okay, just checking.
It's in the inside of his lip like they did for
Yeah,
Blade.
Blade 2.
Blade 2.
Fucking yuck. Okay, let's go.
All right. So Antonia kind of puts her elbows on the counter, goes like this, and says, "So Sam, how much are they paying you?"
Oh, like 25 a year. Yeah.
Sorry, did you say 25 a year, as in 25,000 a year,
Yeah.
as in Canadian,
Am
as
I
in Canadian
supposed to be
dollars?
am I supposed to
No,
be
no, no, no,
paid
no,
in
no,
a
no, no, no,
different
no, no, no.
currency?
Okay. You and Antonia pulls out her phone. She makes a note that says, "Sam, door guy, give raise, only getting 25K a year. What the fuck?" And then says, "Alexander, fucking asshole," and then just saves the note on her thing. And says, "We will be changing that. We will
Oh
be making
shit.
sure."
Oh, I'm so
No, no.
sorry. I didn't mean
Oh
anything
no,
by
no,
it.
no, no, no,
No,
no, no, no, no,
I'll
no, 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 no,
I'll
no,
go
no,
get
no,
my
no.
stuff.
Shh, shh, shh. We will be changing that.
Yeah, I
You will
know.
be
You're
getting a
firing me.
raise.
Oh, what?
You're not getting paid enough. How are they expecting you to live on that much money in Vancouver? What the hell? Like, what the actual hell?
Well,
Anyway,
I already have my house paid off and stuff, and
I don't
I'm
care.
gonna be retiring soon anyway. So
Oh fuck! Why did you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you say I'm gonna be? What the hell is wrong with you? Have you not seen any movies?
I start to pull out a gun, be like, I could put him out of
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Sam,
well,
have
yeah.
yourself a
Look,
good night. We'll see
I
you
just
on your
bought a
way out.
boat with my wife, and we were gonna like sail around the world.
You
Sam?
fucking idiot.
Sam?
I like grab him by his collar and I say, shut the fuck up. Because if there's one thing you and I both know, is that we are both too old for this shit.
I keep saying that all the time.
Shut up.
Oh, right.
Okay. Sam, we'll see you when we come back down after our meeting. Enjoy your evening. We'll get that rectified before your next paycheck. All right? All right, cool. And she looks over at the old man and Key. I think we should go now. And
He is a goner. He's already toast. I don't even know why
I know.
we're still talking to his ass.
You're right. I agree. But let's not tell him that, okay?
Tell him that. And I feel like he starts to turn on a heel.
No, Key. Let's go. So
figured
little
it out.
time.
As a storyteller, I can't believe it's taken me this long.
To what?
Key like processes the last couple of words that you say and then just jumps on that. So it's like if you say don't tell him that, Key jumps on the tell him that, and it's the ultimate yes and character. It's great. It's like, how do you speak in a foreign language? You use the last word that they said and turn it into a question.
Context clues. Key's not from here. They barely speak English.
All right.
So you're headed on up to the 6th floor?
Yes.
Reluctantly.
Okay, so on the 6th floor, it's the same thing that was there before, except there's no indication that there was ever any battle that occurred here in the past little while. The door itself that had the boot print that Key tried to push, that was been fixed. With Key's one strength.
Pick me while I'm down.
I'm just saying, you get a bunch of XP you could up your strength with the XP. So when you go up there, kind of the same situation where it looks like the main desk that's in the foyer of that particular level is built into kind of like chiseled out of the same kind of granite. And there's a like late 30s, early 50s, you can't quite tell, woman who's sitting behind the desk, like a femme presenting person. She's got kind of reddish hair that is not super slick back, but it's like it's stylish, and she's got kind of like you can tell there's the odd gray hair mixed in there that she hasn't quite had the time to go and get dyed out of her hair type of situation. And she's like, as soon as you come in, she's like, Miss Petrovska. Piotrowska? Piotrowska. Okay. Yes. You wanted a meeting.
Yes.
Excellent.
And you can just call me Antonia. You don't have to
I
call me Miss
cannot.
whatever. You absolutely can. That is what I am requesting.
I cannot.
We'll work on this. We'll workshop this.
And she leads you into the large boardroom that formerly had the tree thing and the pile of ash and the dead bodies and such. And it is pristine at this particular point. It is like you rarely, Antonia probably has more experience with this than Kier the old man, but there's a certain kind of level of ventrueness or toreadorness that you get to where like things are like impeccably clean. And she leads you in there and she's like, so we have it set up. Antonia, that feels really weird. Your office is at the other end of this particular room.
All right.
And along the table, because the table is gigantic, there is 4 other doors on the left side from where you would be looking when you walked in. And we have individual offices for each of your associates. I believe is it? If I remember the files correctly, you're set up on this one, and she points to the first one. The old man, you're in this one, and she points to the third one. And there's one for Violetta and Sophia as well.
Excellent.
Can I go look at the offices?
Absolutely.
He goes right to Violetta's. Just goes in, closes the door behind them.
And
that's Violetta's. That one's not Keys.
She knows. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
They're checking out Violetta's office for a reason, and that's okay. Fine. Don't worry.
What are you looking for in this particular office, Key?
Dang, I was gonna make this whole thing and like write up about it so that nobody found out till season 2, but I can out it now.
Yeah, actually, let's hold on to that.
Yeah, okay. Cool,
Okay,
cool.
Keys,
That
the old
happens.
man, are you doing anything with the revelation that you now have an office?
I am going to look at the door of the office.
There is a gold nameplate that says "The Old Man" that's on the office door. But other than that, it's just a regular like wooden door.
I take that off. And I walk up to the attendant, Sandra. It is, yes.
Sandra, yeah.
Um, um, and I say, my name or moniker or whatever it is you think you call me is not said aloud or written down in this place.
Understood, sir.
Is there a lock on the office at all?
It's one of the door. It has like the circular kind of door handle. So you can tell that if you are inside, you can lock it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no like key necessarily.
Haha.
There is no key because key is in Violetta's office.
Yes. That's the name of the character.
You must have key present to open the door.
Yeah, the old man is then going to look inside of the office.
This has a kind of 1920s Chicago type of feel, like a Sam Spade private investigator's office, like the ceiling fan that's spinning slowly.
I look it up and down, and I say, "That's not bad." Desk.
It has a desk, yeah, like kind of the same sort of style. It's like not huge. It's like the wooden one with several drawers on either side. It has a old school like kind of one of those giant calendar kind of things that you put down flat on the desk itself that you can like scribble your notes on and stuff.
Mhm. Okay. I close. I leave the office and close the door behind me.
If there's anything you need in there, sir, anything at all, we can paperweights, pens, pencils, computers. It's all on the company budget.
Looks good, but I need that whole thing, the whole office, moved down into the basement.
Okay. And she like flips out. She's wearing kind of like a pantsuit, so she reaches into the pocket of her jacket and pulls out like a notepad, and she's like, "Okay, old man office to basement."
The
And then she
the
scratches out the old man part because you told her not to write down anybody's names. She's like,
Mhm.
office number 3 to basement. Right, got it.
Outside of that office, I need elevator access and underground access.
That's going to be a little trickier, but I think we can do that. Yeah.
All right.
Elevator and underground. Okay.
That's it.
Antonia, are you checking out your office, which has the double
Actually,
doors on the far end of the room?
actually, Antonia, for the moment, she will probably check it out later. But for the moment, she's observing Sandra. She's trying to be mindful of trying to assess Sandra. I mean, we can tell she's human, probably, right?
Human adjacent?
Human, but probably a ghoul, right? Yeah, that's what I figure. So Antonia's basically, kind of checking out, who she's working with now. And she turns to Sandra and says, Sandra, before I go and check out my office, why don't you and I have a little bit of a seat here and, you know, my colleagues here can join us when they're ready. And
Okay.
Antonia motions over to that big table that you've mentioned that's there in the middle of the room.
That has a large, gaudy, like head of the table type seat at the one side. Are you going to take that seat? The one that may or may not have had ashes in it that Key was
I
sitting
think
in another episode.
Yeah, I think Antonia's going to look at that chair, take that chair, and wheel it out into the middle of the room and actually take one of the other chairs and, you know, sit
Put
it
it in
down where
place.
it's supposed to
Okay.
be. Yeah. Oh, and that chair, I'm normally don't care, but yeah, let's get rid of that. That feels
She takes that note.
all right. Sandra,
Yes.
so how long did you work for Alexander Industries?
Give or take about 103 years.
Interesting. And so I'm sure that have you seen more than one owner? Or has it always been Alexander Devonshire?
This is the third iteration of this particular company.
All right. So there have been different owners then?
Yes.
All right.
You are now the fourth.
Interesting. And so my question is this. Who I don't want to be so gauche, but who is keeping you young?
My Dominator,
And who might that be?
that was Alexander Devonshire. Now it's
Okay.
you.
It is. I was not made aware of it. And so your Dominator has been the owner throughout?
Yes.
Interesting. And who who created this agreement between the progressive owners?
It's in my contract.
I'm gonna grab your contract from you if you don't mind. I just want to make sure that everything's on the up and up, that you're getting paid enough, and all that other stuff. I obviously don't want to rock the boat, so to speak, and make things uncomfortable. But I do want to make sure that everything is on the up and up, as I'm
I
sure you're.
can see that this would probably be a bit of a problem for you. If you want, there is a clause in my contract where I can be the ghoul of someone else if you so will it. It's just tradition.
I understand, and that's fine. We can make some arrangements. I just want to make sure that there are no other clauses that I haven't been made aware of, because this was something that, I'm willing to look into and go with the flow of this particular arrangement for you to make sure that you are kept comfortable. I just want to make sure that there's no other clauses that I don't know about.
That's fair.
All right. Um okay, so you are not how long have you been without blood?
Give or take about 5 days.
Storyteller, remind me, it's once every 30 days is required?
Once every 30 days, yeah. Actually, technically, I would say once every 28.
Well, okay. Yeah, moon cycle.
Kind of goes on the lunar cycle.
Okay. So Antonia's gonna make a note that she now has 23 days to figure out what the fuck is going on. All right. I won't give you anything today because I need to get everything sorted out and I need to talk to my sire because my sire might take issue with this. So I want to make sure everything's clear, but you will be taken care of before the required time is up. So you will not be made to be feeling uncomfortable or
Dead?
well, yes, exactly that. We will make sure that it's taken care of well ahead of time. All right? Is that agreeable?
That is unconventional, but agreeable.
I'm not very conventional, and I haven't been alive as long as you either. So I do appreciate your
Candor.
experience. Sorry?
My candor.
Yeah. Yes, your candor and your experience and your length of service. I appreciate all of that. Um, all right. Next question. Why am I meeting with Pentex?
Alexander Industries has a business dealing with Pentex. We have been giving them funding in return for, I believe this has to do with a corn supplement that makes humans more compliant to certain vampire powers.
A corn supplement,
Yes.
as in the vegetable.
Yes. Is there another meaning for the word corn?
No, no. I just want to make sure I'm hearing this correctly because this didn't. Okay. Cool. Is the old man
No,
around?
nope. I know what you're talking about. Stop it.
The old man around?
Close
by. Please.
That's when I broke the entire cast by saying the word corn. Is the old man around?
Nah.
No. The old man is in his office at this particular point in time, I suppose.
All right. I think Antonia calls out to Key and the old man to come join her at this point because I think she's at the point where she needs to make sure that all the bases are covered.
I was gonna say you hear from afar like, okay, 1 second, and then a bang as the door then opens and they just kind of okay. Close the door. Viola's office. What are we doing?
I would like, Sandra, for you to repeat to me the same thing that you said about why we're meeting with Pentex. To my associates here. Yes, exactly. Why we're meeting with them to my associates, just to make sure that I don't change the wording of this or anything like that.
So, Pentex has a deal established with Alexander Industries, and this is an update meeting to that deal. So, they have a corn supplement that makes humans more compliant to various vampiric powers.
People still eat corn?
As in, like, the vegetable.
Yes. Is there another meaning for that word?
I mean, like, never mind. Look,
Is there? No, wait, what is the other meaning?
it doesn't matter. It won't ever matter. Look, what is okay? What does this have to do?
Antonia, fuck, that feels weird. Now being in charge of Alexander Industries, that decision now falls in her category.
Uh-huh.
And I suppose if you are all now executives in Alexander Industries, I'm assuming she would take your advice on what to do.
Antonia nods her head. Yes. And just gives the old man a look of like corn kind of thing. Like you can see it in her eyes. She's like questioning what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. Okay. When is this meeting happening exactly?
2 a.m.
And the time is now.
The time is now you probably would have been able to get there. It's pushing up towards 1 p.m. or 1 a.m.
Okay. I need you to get me a full what do you call that shit? Like a file, on like a just like an overview of what this corn shit is and how it
It's a
works,
vegetable.
how the supplement works.
Right.
Right. I need to know about the deal, the product, how it works, uh, how it's distributed, um, what their cut is, what our cut is, uh, and I need a full risk analysis on it before this meeting happens.
Will do.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Hurry.
I need a chopstick.
Like a single chopstick?
Chap.
No, chapstick.
Chapstick.
Yes.
There's. Okay. And then Sandra gets up to go to leave.
Thank you, Sandra.
And at that point, it's a good time to take a bit of a break. So, come on back in about 7 minutes, everybody, and we'll see what's going on the plane still and what's going to happen in this Pentex meeting. And welcome back, everybody. So we're going to flip back over to the airplane and Sophia and Violetta and see what the conversation's looking like up at about 30,000 feet. The emergency exits are marked in the front and the back of the plane. And this is how you put your seatbelt. No, I'm not going to quite get in that far into the weeds on that one. So you'd probably see, flying to or from Toronto from Vancouver is weird. I know that because I've done that several times, and you are actually in U.S. airspace at this particular point in time. Because
Are we on the Boeing?
they do that occasionally.
Not
Are
the
we on Boeing?
Boeing.
You're not on a Boeing.
Are we on Boeing?
No,
Okay.
Stop it.
Even more worse, you're on
Bombardier. That's
Spirit.
who we're on.
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines.
No.
You're on WestJet.
Yeah. The spirit of Canada.
Because I really don't feel like torturing my players and putting them on an Air Canada flight.
Hey, free booze now on Air Canada.
Yeah, you have to pay twice to get on a WestJet flight, so whatever. So how's the conversation going at 30,000 feet?
I mean, we left off with me saying, hey, you should just kill him if you see him. So, it's that conversation going.
Sophia's note on her phone says, "Okay, if encountered by Savat, it's on site." And like
Okay.
there's like a between each like word there.
This is a storyteller thing. Are you actually reading the Book of Nod right now as your
I'm
in-flight
not.
book? Okay.
I'm
Just
not.
checking.
No.
I just gotta check
I'm
these
not.
things.
No. No, it's worse. I'm a Samitsi, so I went with Marquis de Sade.
Wow. On that note, um, Sophia,
Yes.
for the sake of pretty much everything, this will be one of those flights where you can actually get text messages.
Lovely.
You keep getting text messages from Brayden. Like, hi, where
bestie.
are you? What's going
Oh.
on?
I forgot to leave him a note.
Looks
Didn't
that
I?
way, yes.
Hmm. I'm going to
something going on?
say that that Braden and I would have had our locations on our like Apple phones turned on so that we could see
Friend location tracking.
friend location tracker was on. So I can see his messages getting more frantic.
Yeah, as he's like, "What's
Oh.
going on?
Eh.
Did you get kidnapped?" Like,
Yes.
I reply, sort of, wink, wink. I respond with, I am with coterie mates at the moment. Just popping out for a quick little jaunt. No need to panic. And
you
I turn
get
to
back.
Violetta.
You
Oh,
get
go ahead.
back from that. Going to a party without me, and then the unhappy emoji.
I reply with, oh, not the kind of party you would enjoy. And I put 3 like little blood drops uh next to it. Trust me.
There's a bunch of question marks that come back.
I will give you the lowdown when I make it back. um Sophia, like as she's saying when, like in her mind when she's typing when is like hesitating at that, but she types it out and basically tells Brayden that he has free reign of the abode and to you know have a ball, not literally, but you know what I mean.
See if
Well,
Sophia then comes back upstaged because Brayden threw a ball when she wasn't specific.
how dare he? No, not no. He cannot upstage my ball. Absolutely not. The audacity. But she turns to Violetta and just says, "Oh, just Brayden, just looking out for me. But I just told him I'd be back sooner rather than later, and hopefully, but should be fine." So about your about, uh, but I guess they're no longer friends. What what was it that brought you all together in the first place?
I mean, you know enough about the Sabbat. It's not like we were actually friends. More so just the vernaculum that kept us together.
Mm.
You know what that is, yes.
No, absolutely not. Please explain.
Okay. And Viola just puts down her book knowing like this is gonna be a long. So in the Sabbat, there isn't necessarily a way to keep packs together without us wanting to jump at each other's throats. We genuinely hate each other and tend to be very antisocial creatures. Because of that, it's kind of best to have numbers and not want to kill each other every 5 seconds. So there is something called Valderi, which basically means we all have a fun time and blood bind ourselves to each other, so that way we can ensure that we don't try and kill each other.
Blood binding.
And that's the
That's
only way to keep someone tame for the most part. Yes.
well, that sounds. What is the blood binding entail? I mean, how intense is that? Uh, Is it a ritual?
Pretty much so, yes. But, it's that really isn't the hard part. For the most part, it's proving yourself to be true Sabbat because you have, you know, actual Sabbat that do things, and then you have like the shovelheads that you see out on the streets that don't know anything about anything. Shock troops.
Right. So when you do bond bloodily, um, uh, does that override your hatred for each other, or does it just mean like a truce
For
sort
the
of
most,
thing?
it depends. Like a bond for the most part only amplifies what feelings are there. It'll make you want to stop killing a person or even try to protect them, but it's not going to, you know, amplify feelings that, you know, aren't necessarily there. So if you hate someone, it's really only going to keep you around them and make you not want to immediately kill them.
Right. And did it? I mean, so how was it a tough experience to then sell out your group having had the blood pact, or
Breaking the bond is harder than, actually, going through with the bond. All blood bonds to some extent, fizzle away after a certain amount of time if you're not completely like bound to each other.
mm,
You know, that or else you have to go ahead and, toss in a few favors to, make sure that the bond is broken.
um,
So it was not necessarily easy, but couldn't really say I liked any of them. The only real regret that I had is that I wasn't around to see them get executed.
right?
Anything else
Interesting.
you want to say?
Well, I mean, we're going to look for information here. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that we're hoping to subvert a bigger congregation of Sabbat back home?
Potentially.
Huh.
Considering that Stanislava mentioned that she doesn't want us poking around here, and also you have some Toreador who are former anti-tribute. Doesn't really seem to speak that well for what's going on back home. So that's why we're here, for information. Because
Okay.
what I don't know about them could surely be found through archives.
True. Well,
Again, if I didn't have to go back here, I wouldn't. Generally, don't like those degenerate pieces of shit. I hope they've all died by this point. But, life takes you in funny turns sometimes.
yes. Well, don't I know that? Storyteller
That's
having
me.
Violetta kind of talk about her blood packs and stuff. Um, would that be something that Sophia may have done, whether willingly or unwillingly. Like,
It's entirely possible, and I'm leaving this in your hands as the
okay.
player because it's
Mhm.
your background, that your sire would have had Sophia bloodbound to
Yeah,
him, but not
that
the
makes
other way
sense.
around. Like it wouldn't have been a mutual blood bond.
Yes. Okay, that's what I was getting at. I'm like, I feel like that's something that probably would have happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like as like Violet is kind of like because I don't think he would have explained it to me either to kind of
No.
like keep me in
Yeah,
the dark.
he
So
probably would have kept Sophia's in the dark as possible because he's a lot of a prick, let's be honest.
yeah. So I think like as Violetta was like explaining it, like it was one of those like
Yeah.
moments where you just see Sophia just kind of like disassociate for a second and be like, "Oh shit, I just figured out what just happened to me."
Yeah, and mechanically speaking for you as a player as well, it would have blood bonds are in play. It actually like completely solidifies after the third drink on the third month.
Mhm.
But if the person who's feeding that particular character blood feeds them an additional 3 months, it ends up being like a 6 point bond. And then it's essentially like it's not super complete
Yeah.
love and adoration, it's fake love and adoration. So it's like there's kind of chinks in the armor. And if you stay away from that particular character long enough for the 6 months, it kind of per month it kind of degrades, so you would be out of it by this point.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think that's very much what was happening with her before
Okay.
and she's just now has like put it into more clearer terms. Oh, lovely.
Is there
Uh,
something bothering you?
well, I just I'm starting to put some pieces together as to how my sire might have uh controlled me.
Oh, he used the blood bond then.
I feel like that's what was going on. Yes.
Not
'Cause that's
too out of the norm. Most sires do that.
yeah.
Sorry that happened to you, but most sires do that.
Yeah. Well, at least I know what it was now. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. Fingers crossed.
Well, try and find him soon enough. Again,
You
you
know,
don't know if he
because
has
I was
any other.
wondering, like,
Hmm?
like I just don't like I ran away multiple times, and every time I would just come into contact with him again. Like I, there was a rage, and for some reason, I could never hurt him, and I could never figure out why. I
How were you drinking his blood?
don't remember. It might. This is what I'm saying. The drugs might have been quite bad for me, and maybe perhaps there might have been people in my circles that weren't completely on my side that were possibly keeping me out of the loop.
Do you have their names?
Well, I'll have to see which one of them are still alive or undead alive. But I'll have to revisit the information.
Try and give me their names and descriptions as soon as possible.
Sophia types in her little notes on her phone to be sure to give those names and descriptions as soon as she has them. Well, certainly starting to shape up some purpose here, aren't I?
I suppose so, but again, it really doesn't matter what I do unless you get something out of it.
Well, hopefully we can all get something out of this.
Hmm, sure. I don't expect it to be that insightful on my end, other than to revisit things that I thought I firmly kept in the past, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Anything else you want to know?
Oh, I feel like a lot of questions that I didn't even know I had are going to come up sooner rather than later here.
I mean, considering we're on this long ass fucking flight, you can ask me a few more things and I guess we could just leave it from there.
Sophia is probably going to talk your ear off about your journey in um the judicial career um and how that whole thing has come around uh and obviously put on a dope playlist um and hopefully try and get Violetta to do uh
In-flight karaoke.
jet plane karaoke.
What's this urban music?
Wow. So the plane proceeds towards its destination. We're gonna flip back over to a potential meeting. The files would have been delivered probably with about a half an hour to spare to the old man.
Okay. I would like to consume as much of this as I can.
Let me just check something here. Nope, that's Sophia. That's the old man. There we go. You do have a finance level of 1 and an investigation level of 1. So let's do a. I'm gonna say wits in finance or investigation. So it'd be 4 dice in either which way you spin
Okay.
it on that one.
Yeah, I'll go wits and finance. Let's see here. Oh, and I'm hungry, huh? Okay.
Yeah, you're a little hungry.
All right. Let's see how we do
You could
here.
go for a bite.
All right. The now's not the time for that. Let's see here. Oh, one success.
There's a lot of numbers. Like the charts are easy enough to figure out. There's like financial spreadsheets and stuff, but it is just like it's not that you don't know it
It's
because
just
with
not in
yeah,
a.
it's just not. It's just way too much information to try to cram in like a half an hour, basically.
Yeah.
But the gist of it that you're getting is that the it looks promising. It has an interesting concept behind it. Like if people eat enough of this particular corn based whatever, like whatever they turn the corn into, like high fructose corn syrup, stuff like that. If they eat enough of whatever this particular genetically engineered corn is made into, it's the one thing that I will give you with that success is that it seems like uh the sample size is a bit too small to make that particular judgment right now.
Right.
Like there's maybe 50 people that they sampled and it's basically just it's kind of looking promising, but they would probably need like a much larger sample size to actually make a definitive statement one way or the other.
Yeah. To know that it's effective, therefore to know if it's a good like if it's a good deal to continue or to make a call on.
Yeah.
Okay. I hand Antonia the file and give her that information. I say, there's a lot of info there, and we are going into this thing a little short-handed, but from what I could tell, I don't know if this is a great call to make right now. We need more info, but I don't know. It could be in here.
That's good to know. So, in terms of the actual product, how is it looking? How's the sciencing, so to speak?
It looks like it works, or like it could work, but just I don't know. When you want to know if a product is effective, you want to test it out on as many people as possible to get all the info, and it ain't here.
That is worrying.
Right.
Antonia takes a look at the financials. Do you want me to? Yeah, you do. Okay. What do you want me to roll? Just finance
Let
and what?
me see your character sheet here. I'm blind. That blinded me. There's a lot of brightness there. Antonia, there it is. You've finance. So yeah, give it a roll for finance and intelligence.
Oh,
It's a lot of dice.
yeah, it is. I'm gonna blow a willpower because my dice are not behaving this evening.
Okay. How not behaving are they? If I had to put a number on it,
Out of 7 dice, I only got 2 successes. That kind of not behaving?
that's not really behaving.
No.
That's statistically improbable.
We've now brought it up to 4 successes.
That is pretty much baseline statistics. So 4 successes. The math is mathing. Like it's for what they're saying that they need, it seems to be like on the surface level, like the first couple of pages when you flip through like financial reports of like we need this for this, this for that. It seems to be with the 4 successes, you almost didn't notice it, but you see that it is there's like $100 screwdriver type of situation going on in there. Like there's the odd thing when it's this is, something that you have on the instructions of your sire and other people, you have, let's just say, padded the numbers a little bit with regards to tax write-off stuff and being like, well, I paid X for Y, but personally that X does not cost anywhere near as much as that. that sort of thing.
Okay. I think in the areas, sorry, in the areas where that sort of thing shows up, I think Antonia would just kind of like lightly underline it. Just really quickly go through and like as she's going through, just underline things that stand out that look bad. And I think she'd just say to both Chris and, or sorry, Key and the old man, um, they're doing some, they're cheating. They're doing some cheating. I want to know why. Because if we're helping finance any of this, I do not want to let them get away with anything.
Right. Easy enough.
Yeah. All seems a little shady.
Key?
And you just look over and you see Key standing there, like with a little knife out.
Maybe not that far,
Oh,
but
okay.
you know, eyes open.
Or we could
Mm.
force them to tell us the truth.
I mean, we can if they are not one of us, we can really do it easily. But if they
Uh,
are, then it's going to be a little bit harder.
Is Sandra there still?
Sandra is not. Sandra
Okay.
is out in the main foyer area. And
Okay.
you actually hear a buzzing, Antonia, and a little panel flips up uh, where the gigantic seat was.
Antonia takes a look.
There's a bunch of different buttons on there. One of them says talk.
Well, this is fun. Antonia pushes talk. Yes.
The Pentex representatives are here.
Antonia looks at the old man, Key, and kind of says, nods like yes to the both of them. We send them in. All right. Yes. Send them up, please, Sandra. Thank you.
There is a knocking at the large doors, and then they swing open. And Sandra walks in, and behind Sandra, about 2 people back, there is a large, misshapen, werewolf like creature that is with them. And there's a gentleman that's right behind Sandra. And I just wanted to point out the werewolf first because it's pretty obvious. I didn't want to bury the lead on that one. And then there's 2 other people that are with the werewolf creature. One of them is right behind Sandra, and it is a tallish man who's got like kind of short hair on the top, kind of a fade hairstyle. He's wearing like a all black suit, black shirt, black tie. He's even wearing black, like kind of leather gloves. Then there's the werewolf, and then there's a woman who is behind him who is wearing, not comedically when I wrote this down, but now I'm seeing it. She's wearing an all white outfit that's all kind of like suit. The tie is black, but she's wearing like a white shirt underneath. She's wearing like a pantsuit. And they all come in and they sit at the opposite side from where you would have been to accept the talk call. The werewolf sits down in a manner of speaking, and basically crushes the seat underneath it because they are not rated to have about 750 pounds to put on them. And the other two don't even, they basically pretend not to notice.
Hello,
Hello.
I am Antonia, and you are?
I am the representative of Pentax.
The representative of Pentax, who I'm sure has a name. Yes?
Not anymore. No.
All right.
You should give him a name.
My associate, Key, would like to give you a name so that we can differentiate you from all your other associates. Otherwise, we can stick with numbers if you are more comfortable with that. Or letters.
69.
All right, since you have failed to give me a name, which is rude,
It's not rude.
my
It's
associate.
merely fact. You may call me Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson. All right, perfect. Mr. Johnson. And your other associates?
They are not necessary to have a name for this meeting.
If they are not necessary, why are they here?
Insurance.
So you have brought to your first meeting with the new owner of this company.
I have
You have
brought to this meeting with the vampires backup. Unless you were not feeling the need to explain that we were meeting with a bunch of vampires. Would you trust walking into a meeting with vampires that you hadn't met without backup?
Yes.
That is fair. I will give you that. That is fair. But you've walked in here fairly aggressively, not introducing yourselves, and
Look, I didn't
there's.
introduce myself because I don't have a name anymore. It's part of my contract at Pentax.
All right. How do they refer to you then? How do they distinguish you from everybody else?
Associate.
All right. So, what is the purpose for your coming here? I believe you were going to give us an update. Is that correct?
Yes. And the female presenting person has like several kind of folders, and she walks around. She had like 5 of them, but she hands one to each, the old man, Key, and Antonia. In here
Okay.
are the stats and figures that you would need for the next phase. We're going into phase 2, and we need updated funding.
All right. Antonia opens up the folder. Does it look like the information that Sandra just gave her?
This would be updated information.
Can I analyze this compared to? I didn't do a great job on the last one, but can I analyze this as well?
Yeah, give it a roll. The
Same role.
Yeah.
Wits and finance.
What's in finance? And Antonia, if you wanted to do the same. Key, do you want to look it over? Give it a
What would I need to roll again?
give it a gander. Something.
'Cause
Actually,
if I don't have much of it, then no.
well, actually, you do have something that would help. Give me a wits and science roll because you have a genetics specialty. So you'd be
Alright.
rolling 5 dice on that one.
Uh-huh.
That's what Key sounds like when they're thinking.
Just flipping
Um,
through it. Blah, 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 blah.
3 successes.
As pointed out with the old man, the sample size on this is ridiculously small. Like, this is not something that, like, with regards to statistics, this is extremely within the plus minus parameter. Like, there's nothing that could be really gleaned off of this. They might even be outliers at this sample size.
Can Key just out loud be like going through the pages like this is shit? Just out
Yes.
loud. Like this is terrible. Oh, maybe I'm looking at it upside down, tries to take it from the old man. Like, oh no, you had it right. This is bad.
Old
And
man, how many successes did you get before
Can I
he?
use a willpower? Because I am also rolling very badly today.
Yeah.
Does that mean I add a die or re-roll a die? Like, how does it work?
How many? You had 4 dice for this, right?
Yeah.
How did your hunger dice do? Because you were at 2 hunger, I believe.
I'm at for 3 hunger.
Then a willpower really wouldn't help.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, because you could re-roll up to 3 regular dice instead of, but you can't re-roll blood dice with it.
Got it.
Can I try to reroll?
If your missed successes are on the regular dice, yes, you can.
They were. I roll my 2 cute purple. Okay, I got 1 extra success.
Yeah, this is basically just shit. Like, even the genetics readout, like the kind of genetics description that they have, because there's like it's a standard kind of financial type of report where it like gets into some of the minutia of it, but it's just like the genetic thing is, you're looking at it and it's just, yeah, it's garbage.
I think you should fire them.
Antonia, were you rolling?
Antonia rolled, well, wits and finance is only 5 dice for me, so I got 3 successes.
Yeah, it's an updated piece of garbage from what you got before.
With more money laundering, basically. I'm just going to call it as it is. Yeah, okay.
Just call it creative accounting in the Ventru nomenclature.
Antonia's not saying that out loud. She's just thinking in her head. So based on what my associates have told me and based on what I know, this is shit, as my associate has said, both from the science perspective and from the finance perspective. So as much as I'd like to say, let's take this away and take a closer look and get back to you, I don't feel like wasting your time at this point is necessarily a good idea. So give me one good reason why you should get more financing.
Because we also help your financing.
And how do you propose that you do?
And he rattles off a bunch of like what you would recognize, what the folks who have finance as a skill. Old man, Key, I don't think you do, but you can definitely tell bullshit when you hear it.
Can I apply streetwise to this instead?
Sure. Okay.
Because I know what hustlers sound like.
Yeah. This is basically a bunch of that shit. And Key, you have streetwise as well. Like that's the kind of angle that Key and the old man would be looking at this from. He's hustling pretty hard. He's just spouting off a bunch of like Ventru-ish terms, like, financial reports, and we supplement you, you're getting 70-30, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm just saying, Antonia, if you need my help.
I would like to say yes and as a player. Antonia's gonna say, let's give them 5 minutes. Let's give them 5 minutes. Head start. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to be very, very frank and honest with you. This is all shit. You know it's shit. We know it's shit. So why are you bringing me this shit and thinking you can sell it to me? I mean, I may not have thought very much of my predecessor, but he wasn't stupid. So why are you bringing this shit here to me?
Because it's a part of a long-standing deal between our two companies.
Explain.
We supplement each other.
You already said that. You already rattled off a whole bunch of facts, which all three of us know are shit. So please make it more clear as to what exactly it is that you can do for us that would make us want to give you any sort of financing whatsoever.
He can see the writing on the wall at this point, and he's like, well, if you don't want to do business, that's up to you.
What is
Here's
that
what I'm gonna
supposed to mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it says on the tin.
Uh, the terms of this, what do you call it? Supplementation. Yeah. What were they? How were you scratching their backs, and how were we scratching yours?
There's a number of different financial agreements in place. Now, if I know anything about your higher ups, and I know you have higher ups, they wouldn't want you to tank this particular company, would they?
I don't think that you will tank our company. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that whatever is that you're selling is going to do our company more harm than good. But because I'm feeling generous this evening, and she looks over at the old man and he and basically just kind of gives them a, give me a minute. I'll get to where I'm going in a second in this spiel. Um, she says basically, okay, I'm feeling generous this evening. So what I'm going to do is I assume that your contract and all this other stuff, the agreement is in this file, yes?
Yes.
So what I will do is I will take this. I will send this over to an associate of mine who will tear it apart legally and take a look at it in other ways as well to see and make sure that you're not fucking us too much. Um, and then we will get back to you. But in the interest of getting you out of my face as quickly as possible, because you've now pissed me off, I will tell you that you have exactly 5 minutes to get out of this building, get off the property, or my associate over here, and she points over to Key. Well, I'm not going to hold her back. Let's just put it that way. All right, we'll get back to you tomorrow evening.
Very well.
Out.
And he gets up and leaves, along with the other two.
I lock eyes with the big dog, and I don't break.
It stops and it keeps an eye on you, and then it doesn't like what happens next because the man in the suit goes, "Reginald, come on." And he breaks the eye contact first and goes out.
Storyteller,
That's me.
Yeah.
who is Reginald?
Reginald is the large werewolf thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that Reginald wasn't also a name I had already heard. I don't think it is. We may continue.
I don't know. I'm just saying someone up here is smiling a lot, but now they're giggling. Saying.
Sorry. I just wanted to make sure that Reginald isn't a name that the old man.
Reginald is the name of the Malkavian.
Yeah. Reggie.
What? The
Yo,
actual
yo,
hell?
yo.
The
Like, I'm-
Malkavian
My bestie.
Izzo. Can you be both? This is some
No.
underworld shit. Can
You
you?
technically you
that's what I'm
can.
thinking.
Yeah, that's a conversation we'll get into off screen.
Can you be one thing and pretend to be another?
You can pretend, yes.
Convincingly?
Depends on the minds of the people who you're trying to convince and how, let's just say, how dominated they are.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay.
So,
I say oh, thanks for the candy cane.
there's a bit of bristling from the werewolf, like you've seen it with like large dogs where like the haunches go up, the hair on the back of the neck, and he continues walking.
That's it?
Old man,
Ain't nothing.
want to share with the rest of the class?
In a minute.
They're all gone pretty much at this point.
I wait just a little while
That's fair.
longer than that. Reginald. What are the fucking odds?
That was the candy cane one, right?
Yeah.
Case one.
Yeah. Okay, so how?
I don't fucking know. I got no clue.
Would he have any idea?
Sorry.
Would Key have any idea how that was possible? Like how that could be possible, given Key's background?
I would say so, because he has a fair chunk of dominate.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could with this skill, like with the disciplines that Key would have access to as a ministry member. Part of it is protein, which is shape changing.
Mm-hmm.
Key would also know that you can shape change into other things than just wolf, bat, or etc.
Yeah.
You can shape change into snakes. If you're advanced enough with it, you could also kind of have like a shape change into like a potential werewolf type looking thing. So yes, it is possible, just extremely Malkavian like unlikely.
Cool.
Does Key share that?
Sure. I don't really know. Chris doesn't really know how I would share everything and make it make sense in Key language, but yes, Key does. Blah, blah, blah. Does
Blah.
blah, again.
Okay,
So-
I'll try. Okay, so sometimes people can transform into things, and we think, okay, they can either transform into a bat or into a wolf or into a frog or something. But maybe, if you get really good at it, you can maybe transform into something big. But that's just me. I'm just saying. And then I assume that they stand on
Wait.
their
And then the
head for a
old
while.
man would be like, oh, weird. Keeping it short and simple.
He is the old man.
That's it. Next episode, you're all playing different characters of this coterie.
Body swap.
Are we Freaky Friday?
Freaky Friday, the
Yes, it's a Freaky
entire.
Friday episode.
Yeah.
The Malkavian will make it happen.
Amazing.
The way
Okay, Monica, you're playing Violetta, and then Violetta, you're playing Antonia. Antonia,
Do
you're
you know
playing the
how
old
much
man.
Dick Cheney stuff I have to start researching now?
Wait. Can I
Oh.
play the Toreador? Ooh,
Yeah,
can I
if you
do
want.
Toreador Mean Girl?
Yeah.
I'm literally going to have to just watch MTG and Lauren Boebert on repeat for ages.
Before we get too far
Or did
into
I upset
those,
you?
before we get too far into those weeds, thank you all for watching. Now that particular meeting is over. Also, thank you for any bits or subscriptions you've sent our way. It has been an honor and a privilege to have the ability to share the story with all these folks and with all of you who are watching it wherever you happen to be watching it, on your phone, on a tablet, on your computer, on your television, wherever you happen to be watching it from. So yeah, we're going to do a quick roundtable of everybody to explain who you are, where you're going to be, what you're doing, if you like nice walks on the beach or whatever, and where you buy your merch from, starting with Elaine.
Hello. My name is Alan, and I've been playing the old man. And for a very short period of time, I played Key. You can find me at Quest Keep on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me here at Vancouver by Night, which is also where you get your merch at. What else? You can see me streaming on my own Twitch stream at DJINNXBII sometimes. Let's see what else. If this is airing at a certain time, I'm not exactly sure when, but I think in the future sometime, you might be seeing me far down the line of making a Warforged Colossus dungeon build to fundraise for the Extra Life charity, which I am very excited and proud to do. So I don't know, go on Twitch on Quest Keep and holler, holler,
Donate.
holler.
If you
And
donate to that,
donate.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
donate to that, you can get a mini of your own in the thing.
Yes, I will design a mini of you or of a robot with your name on it, that will join the crew of the giant dungeon. It'll be a lot of fun. Come on down and say hi.
And Chris, who played two roles as well today.
I played Key and had a banger two-word line as the old man today. You can find me at D&D Imposter on all social media, where I make really dumb tee haha memes. Where I make more of my content. Actual play stuff is not only here on Vancouver by Night, but also on Tabletop Tempest, a actual play channel created by immigrants and children of immigrants. Our season 1 shows run from summer 2024, because I know this will come out a little bit later, but it'll run all the way until about mid-spring 2025. Yeah, check me out there.
And up above me is Joanna.
Hello, my name is Joanna, and I was playing Antonia for you today. You'll find me on the social medias as Hyrule Gardener. And I only played one role today, but I got to play a big bitch, so that was cool and awesome and fun. But yeah, follow everybody's projects here. They are all very, very awesome projects, or they are all very awesome people with very awesome projects, and you should help fund and help do everything to make these people's lives easier.
I consider all of the characters in this a fun project because it's hard to keep your humanity high. And I'm not pointing out anybody specifically, but I haven't got to them in the order of whatever yet. Monica, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Monica, and I'm your sweet cinnamon roll Sophia, Toreador extraordinaire, taking very, very hard notes on how to someday become Violetta. So that'll be a disaster one day. um, but you can find me as Monica M. Art all over social media. You can find me doing artwork on all over the TTRPG sphere. I'm in Kids in Capes, Kids on Bikes, a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to actually
Donna Quixote.
Oh yeah, my Doña Quixote graphic novels, book one's already out in stores. Second book's coming out in September. Pre-order that. Um, you can see me like live and in person on North Wolf 911's Twisted Fates Candela Obscura, which I have also done artwork for. Um, I should have already played my guest appearance on the Chapter 2 series, but yeah, you can find me here playing Sophia most of the time. And yeah, check me out, check out the artwork, check out the books, and I'll see you all later.
And last but certainly not least, the meatsy over here is Michaela.
I have been getting slandered this entire night. Thank you.
Girl, do you want me
Was
to
that-
leak our meme chat?
I just want to say my employers would really love to know your location, Chris. Anyway. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, humbleness and humility. So, hi, my name is Michaela. You can find me here playing the victim in all of this, truly, the true victim, Violetta Tremblay. Or you can find me on Starcrawl and The Lost Caravan, where I also, diversity in my characters, where I am playing a bitch. Very different, very new for me. If you are in the DMV area, please come up to me. I swear I'm more unhinged in public than I am on here because I do drag. If you couldn't tell by my horrible makeup and acting skills.
I can't follow that up.
I have to cut in there because you said horrible acting skills. First of all, don't you dare talk about my friend
Yeah.
like that. Second of all, you are a fantastic actor. Because you're so good at blurring the line between like performer and character that it gets to a point where I can't tell which one of you is trash. You're amazing. Don't you ever sell yourself short. It's so good.
Can I have that line on a shower curtain?
I love you.
Yes.
Yes.
We need that everywhere.
On that note, this guy's Storyteller Steve. I'm here. We're on Moonbeam, I guess, probably at this point. We're on a bunch of different other stuff. Go to our YouTube, check out our Twitch, throw us some money if you really feel like it. If you want, if you're able, if you feel like doing so, send it all over to us. We share it with the folks on screen. Everybody gets some. And yeah, you can support us in a number of different ways with regards to that. You can buy stuff from our merch shop and get stuff like this, which is the VBN symbol on a t-shirt. You can get the Meet C stuff. You can get cartoon characters of all the characters that you see done by Monica, who's just up here. They are amazing. Go check them out. You can get shower curtains. You can have the old man shower curtain if you really felt like it.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
this is the first time anyone has mentioned that I could also be a part of a shower curtain, and now now that I know what it's like to be on the other side, I would like to retract every horrible the meatsy thing I've ever said. Violetta, I see you, I hear you, I am with you.
Thank you for atoning. It means so much.
I mean, you could get the old man beach towel if you really felt like it. No, nothing. Nothing for that. Okay. So, yeah, thank you all again for watching, and we will see you with our season 2 finale next week, where potentially some people land in Toronto, and then maybe everyone else, maybe potentially for that particular episode alone, be playing different characters. So tune in, everybody, and we will see you next week.